I would love to hear you elaborate on beauty and body. As I see it, there is, especially among women, but also for me, a strong identity created because of their own looks. Women in general are more valued as a body, and they put emphasis on how to physically present themselves in this world. How has your journey been in relationship to your body and your own physical beauty? And in this path of liberation, how has it changed? Yeah, thank you for your question. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I'm not sure if I'm so interested in speaking too long about my story or too much focus on this. So, I mean, the main point to it is the recognition that you are not the body. And then beauty or not beauty of the body is irrelevant. That's the main point. Like, who is looking now? Is a body looking? Is a somebody looking? So what happens before there is this image appearing in your personal awareness of you speaking, of who you are, who people are relating to, and then this creates shame and embarrassment because you have an image up there, but in the moment there is nothing speaking. There is nobody that's beautiful or ugly that's speaking or middle. There's just this, what's happening. For my own personal story, I just run through it quickly because you ask. So yeah, there was eating disorder here when I was younger. There was bulimia that came for a few years, predominantly due to very stressful situation I was in. This is when I was a teenager. There was a lot of trauma in my family, and yeah, it was like a release of energy because there was so much stress in the family because of these traumas. And so in order to get over the eating disorder, I had to get over being thin or fat. So I went through this process of like just allowing the body to eat whatever it wanted. Simultaneously to that, I got into Buddhism, and I also met a friend who encouraged me to shave all my hair off and not wear makeup and all these types of things. And so there was this whole process and exploration that happened, and it was really beautiful, you know, like growing my hairy armpits, growing hairy legs, having my friends. This was in the beginning of the 2000s where it was still allowed for people to body shame, and they were disgusted. They were like, put your arms down, Lisa. Yeah. And yeah, so it was a big process that happened there, especially in the Buddhist organization. And what I realized in the Buddhist organization, you know, when I shaved the hair, that was a bit, yeah, no, that was roughly the same time, I think, is that I began to identify with not wearing makeup and having the shaved head. And then I felt proud and better than women that did wear makeup and, you know, like dyed hairs and all these types of things. So there was that process of feeling better than women and taking the makeup off and taking the hair off. And when I took the hair off, I couldn't wear dresses. I just looked really wrong. I just had, I really couldn't. Yeah, so it was all this process. And my mum was so upset with me for shaving my hair. So upset. It was so interesting. So there was this period, and that went on, and there's many investigations and things that happen. So after this period of playing around with all these things, I started dressing really uniquely. Like I was like, fuck it, if I'm not going to try to use my looks to get attention and to get things and all that type of things, and I'm going to really dress in what I want to dress. And so there was like really artistic, outrageous dressing where I just like wore things that I really loved, but it was like really didn't fit in with society. So I really looked like an oddball. And yeah, and that went on for many years. And so then when I met Roger, he talked me out of that. And for many years, then I just dressed normally and just dressed like anyone my age. So I wore makeup, not so much makeup. I wore a bit of makeup. I just wore jeans and a top or something. So not to be really rebelling and to really wearing outlandish clothes or really emphasizing my looks or not really emphasizing my looks. I just tried to do what my peers did. And that conditioning from Roger went on for after till after the awakening to just wear what my peers wore. And that was because he, he made me see, shaving the hair off, taking the makeup off, wearing outrageous clothes, wearing artistic clothes, all of it was an identity for me. It was an imagination of myself in the head, and it belonged to me and was for me. And all of it was creating identity. So then sort of giving up on that and just wearing what my peers wore, what regular 28 or 27-year-olds wore at that time, it was kind of, in a way, like putting on robes. It was like I wasn't being special by putting on robes, and I wasn't being special by putting on like really beautiful clothing, or I wasn't being really special by putting on really arty alternative clothing. I was just blending more into the crowd. And then that went on for many years. And now what I find happened is I wear more hippie alternative clothes and things that are very comfy. It might not look like that, but everything I wear is stretchy. Because I like comfortable. Occasionally I wear stuff that's not stretchy, but most of the time. And I see it more now as like a celebration of God. Like, so I get up and I'm really excited to wear really bright, really not outlandish, but really like celebration clothes, like celebrating. So I don't really see an image of myself in the head of what I want people to see me like or how I want to affect them. It's more like a celebration, like I'm so excited to be alive in a way, or to make, it's like my way of one way, like if you cook a really beautiful meal for people, it's like I'm celebrating being alive by these colors that I mix together and jewelry that I put on and earrings and the different colors in my hair. Yeah. And maybe that changes again. Maybe there's some more stuff to let go there. And eventually I will just be like, I'm wearing black clothes or white clothes or something. But now what it feels like is when I put on my clothes and my makeup and my rings, is like I'm celebrating. I'm like, yes, especially the color element of it. Yes. And that it's okay to be attractive, it's okay to be unattractive, it's okay to wear makeup, it's okay to not wear makeup, it's okay to wear jewelry and not. It's okay to be plump or to be slim. Yeah. Yes. I think there has to be a dismantling of the idea of looks for a long period. especially maybe for women. And maybe that creates oscillation between different looks and different ways.